Salutations! Welcome to another episode of Foxx Plays KSP, the 365-Day Challenge, the reboot. So, today, following a disaster at the near space station, that resulted in the utter destruction of the Kristall module, well, I've had a bit of a think, and I think I've come up with a solution that will let us launch a replacement Kristall module so that we can complete our space station. So I think, without further ado, we'll hop over to the launch pad, and you'll start to get a sense of what I'm on about. Alright, and here we are on the launch pad, and, well, it's a Tantares. This is Tantares 6, but you'll note that it's quite a lot bigger. The payload fairing is much bigger. It's probably twice as tall as it need be, but it also does not have a abort tower, just because it wouldn't fit. Because at the top of this Tantares, which has been modified, there is a... well, it's a bit of a repair job, and you'll see what I mean when we get to orbit, but first we gotta get there. So, here we go. And you'll note that this mission is so important, the great Jebediah himself is taking part. And we have liftoff of Tantares 6 on a rescue mission to the near space station. So it's rather too bad. I was hoping to do. Well, I'm a little conflicted. I'm not sure whether I want to do a shuttle mission, or if I want to put up the last module. It's tricky, but well, actually, there's two modules technically, but one will come with the station, or not the station, the shuttle. Huh. Twee. So yeah. So there's still the Piroda. It's a particularly hard module to pronounce, but there's still that to put up. But there's also the docking module, which was supposed to dock to the Kristall module, but without the Kristall module, there's no docking module, and without the docking module, there's no shuttle mission. So, if it had been like Kvant 1 that had exploded, honestly, I probably would have just ignored it. I would have just gone on with it, done my shuttle mission, put up the last module, and said, that's good enough, but nope, not today. Today we're making the rest of the this kind of mini-series possible. And I've had a few thoughts about what to do after Near is completed. For one thing, I might just deorbit it all and start again. Same save, but basically the trick is that Tantares has been updated since I've started doing this. So the Tantares vehicle is all new. The progress, or the separation here. The Tantares vehicle is all new. The Hamal vehicle is all new. The TKS spacecraft, the Alanar, is all new. What else is new? I think that's it for now, but they're significantly different. So I kind of feel like I want to start using those. It's tricky to do kind of a mod series based on a mod that's constantly updating, in constant states of development. So, but we shall persevere. I've thought about doing some of the lesser known or less known Soviet probes, just because I find the Soviet space program so fascinating. For instance, I could do the Bion series of spacecraft that flew under the Cosmos designation, but were a contained satellite program. It was their bio satellites, bio research. So basically have a pressurized space in the satellite for plants or small animals or bacteria or viruses or whatever, to study the effects of various cosmic effects on their growth patterns and behaviors and such. So I could do those. Those would actually be relatively easy to do with the Tantares parts. Of course, they weren't designed. The mod creator did not design the Tantares Mod Pack to be to replicate some of those probes, or those satellites rather. But it's fully capable of doing it. It provides a lovely homogenized framework to build missions around, which I really like. I like reusing bits of spacecraft to build different spacecraft with different missions. I like the iteration that this mod pack makes possible. For instance, the upper stage here. I mean, that wasn't on our Vostok rocket, but it looks like it's supposed to be there. And if we wanted to add a second one, we could do that. And it just occurs to me that and our trajectory here is very, very shallow. So I'm going to actually have to point upwards a bit more, just to try and get our apoapsis up, because I don't want to spend any more time in this thicker atmosphere than I have to. But yeah, so like the other thing that I find really cool about these parts is they provide the basis of building a whole bunch of different types of rockets. There's stage 0 separation. Notably, the Chinese space program can be done using these parts, which is not surprising because a lot of the Chinese space program was based on old Soviet designs, with heavy modification, of course. But for better or worse, they're more or less old Soviet designs. Their Shangzhou is very Soyuz-esque, right down to more or less identical re-entry modules. Like the drive section, the service module is a little different, and the orbital module is a little different, but it's more or less the same spacecraft, the same capabilities. Alright, and we're going to just jettison our fairing here. Okay, so here is our dirty hack. It's essentially a female docking port, a probe core, a male docking port, and some cubic octagonal struts, and some panels, and another female docking port. And the idea is we'll dock this to the forward docking port of the core block in such a way that this panel covers where our docking port broke off from, and we'll essentially replace it. So I'm just going to burn kind of anti-radial. Okay, well, that's kind of a horrible descent profile, but anyway, I think that's it. We are in orbit, more or less. You can trust me on the last little bit. So that's our mission, but I'm going to put a cut here, and then we'll go back to and I'll come back when I'm on my final approach for docking. Alright, see you there. Okay, so we have ditched our upper stage and have rendezvoused successfully with Nier. So we'll bring up our... we don't need Kerbal Engineer anymore. Alright, so first we need to establish which docking port we're actually targeting. And that looks to be the correct port. Okay, so first we null out our velocity. You know the drill. Alright, so first, well, now that we're aligned, now unfortunately this is going to take rather precise, sorry, something on my screen. This is going to take really precise alignment because the tolerance is probably measured in millimeters. I'm going to just push forward a little bit, so we are closing distance, slowly. Alright, about 0.5 meters a second. That should be plenty of time. And again, sorry for it being dark. It's partly it's KSP and partly it's YouTube. YouTube likes to make videos dark. You can I can just make out Nier there, but I can understand if you cannot. So I'm actually gonna pull back here. There we go. That's a much more dynamic view. I like viewing this like that. I love viewing docking from kind of a third perspective, where you can see both ships. Alright, and we can now thrust forward at about, call it 3 meters a second. That'll get us there in no time at all. Alright, so that's us lined up and ready. So now we need to make sure that we're coming in the correct direction. Or in the correct alignment. We're not going to be able to tell that until we're more or less right on top of it. Okay, we need to rotate 180 degrees. Alright, so we're just going to cancel out our velocity, more or less. And then we're going to rotate 180 degrees. No sense in covering over a perfectly good docking port. Alright. And now we need to realign slightly. This is incredibly tense. I'm still using fine controls. Alright, and I think we're ready to attempt our docking. Alright, moment of truth. Oh, this is incredibly tense. Hey, look at that. Perfect. And now we have this docking port, which should work. And we'll probably rotate some crew up here and dock a progress. Which will let us bring up some supplies that we can fasten that on and strut that up so it's nice and secure. Alright, well, that's been our mission for today. Just going to realign slightly. Anyway, I have been Foxx. This has been KSP. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care.